Good morning, everyone, again, and welcome to the second day of the annual 15th International Conference on Business Information Security, or BISEC. And today we're continuing with first a panel about project presentation, the sponsors of, or the co-sponsors of the conference itself, and then we are continuing with two regular sessions. I'll be your moderator for the projects part, for the projects panel, and I will be presenting the first project, which is the co-sponsor of this session. Let me just, it's already here, excellent. Okay, so I'm here to talk about pre-meds, the project on predictive maintenance, education and training system, which is co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program funded by the European Commission. I'll be presenting the project itself, its results, and where we are so far. Okay, so about the project itself, it's on the funding program Erasmus 2027. It's on innovation and education alliances project. Its duration is 36 months. It started last year in July, and its budget is a little over 1.4 million euros. Here is the QR code where you can take a look at our results and more about the projects, but I'll just give an overview here to keep on the schedule. So what are the objectives of the project? The objectives are multifold. First, we aim to develop a predictive maintenance toolkit, which would integrate both from one side higher education and from the other side vocational education standards, which is something it should be novel in the field. We would like to integrate learner analytics, online profiles to personalized educational services in predictive maintenance, and I'll get to the security part. There is a security part here, and provide micro-credentials micro-credential certification system, and then have a hands-on pilot, a mass pilot in some of the topics covered in the whole project. These are the expected impacts. So from one side, contribute to the EU Pact of Skills, continue to the renewed agenda for higher education, and so forth. I won't list them all, but the impacts cover both regional, national, regional, international, and transnational standards. It's coordinated by CERT, the research institute from Hellas, from Greece, of course, and we have, I think, 13 partners from all over Europe, mostly from Greece, Romania. We are the only partner here from Serbia, but we also have from the Netherlands and Germany and Italy as well. So we are a consortium both from research centers and institutes, higher education and vet education, and also from SMEs. Our target groups are threefold. The primary target group are academic learners, but also vet learners and employees who are doing some kind of predictive maintenance work. The secondary target groups are the trainers in training centers, companies also, and finally, since we're dealing with credentials and so forth, the tertiary group are policymakers, industrial clusters, and so forth. This is our project structure, a sandwich structure. Work package 1 covers from everything regarding project management, also impact, dissemination, exploitation in work package 7, and all other work packages are listed here. I will now list some of the main results that have been done. Our key milestones are, first of all, provide training, content development, micro-credential certification. This has all been done. The other milestones include the platform, which is now in, well, I think it's past the pre-alpha stage, so it's now in alpha stage. We went to the pre-piloting of that. Then we'll do the physical and virtual pilots. And finally, the final milestone is keep the quality standards and measuring our impact according to the external quality advisory board and, of course, our internal quality assurance mechanism. The main part of the project, at least for the first year, and Georgios coordinated this one, was the content development. So we developed two types of content, one for the trainers themselves to help the trainees, and this is the other content that has been developed. And here from BMU, we were also included in this digital skills competencies, and we've dealt with digital skills such as cybersecurity and blockchain as well. At least that was my part. Now, what's the future of this predictive maintenance employee profiles? So because it relies on OECD strategic foresight, and it should be based on guided workshops and so forth. So the idea is to have the workers who are included in some predictive maintenance systems, they should be well skilled enough. Our model contents material includes multimedia content, slides with voice and video overlays, storyboards, booklets, videos, an interactive part, of course, a web quest, and so forth. These are the training modules. I've listed them before, but we have 8 training modules and 6 training modules for the learners. We were mostly included in the digital skills competencies, and as I said, we've included the cybersecurity part in this one as well. We've developed the content, and then we also developed the micro-credentialing system, the platform itself. When you pass all the tests, you get a certificate of completion. The platform, as I said, is in its alpha stage, but it's working. We're still fixing out some of the bugs, but its public version should be in the first quarter of 2025. So the idea is to have a cloud platform development. It has a teaching factory, external services. This is a service for like a learning management system, and we also have externally integrated video conference tool, which should be included. We had a pilot in, or a pre-pilot in Romania, in Timișoara, now in the beginning of November. Two of our employees were there, and we also had a very successful meeting in the first week of November. Now we're continuing with the first pilot, second pilot in Romania and Greece respectively. Then we'll have 8 open days in all of the countries. The mass virtual pilot is planned for the last quarter of 2025 until the first quarter of 2026, and then we'll have a final dissemination event in Greece where it all started. So to keep this as short as possible, to keep on the schedule, you can see our handles on LinkedIn, Facebook, the project website as well. Our data sets are on Zenodo, also X, formerly Twitter, and yes, you can follow us with our newsletter and help us shape the education of predictive maintenance together. Thank you. Professor.
Thank you. Can you explain in more detail how you want to integrate micro-credentials with ECTS data for higher education?
Yes, so...
Because we were told recently that it's a level 5, and we have even in applied sciences, we have from level 7, academic also level 7, so how you can integrate those from level 5?
Yes, we've developed the content which is primarily for EQF level 7. This is master's degree. But we have divided the testing in the, let's say, we divided in the levels actually. So the first tests are EQF level 5, and the harder tests are EQF level 7. So depending on the questions, we have a set of questions, I think, over 2,000 questions maybe. Yeah.
Vocational studies in Serbia
Mm-hmm.
are in level 6, and micro-credential are from level 5. So how you can integrate normal teaching if with the ECTS that are planned for level 6 and micro-credential are implemented in level 5?
Well, we've actually started with the European micro-credentialing system, but then we switched to our own. But the idea is to have, if our regulations require at least level 6, then we'll give the material for level 7.
In Serbia, we don't have any regulation regarding micro-credential. It was the topic we were together
Yes,
on the
yes.
conference, and you remember the debate about this, and it's not yet decided. And so that's why I wonder how you plan, because it's related to these other projects as well.
Yes, so the idea is to have either wait for our regulations or set the materials for the higher EQF levels. But how it will be regulated for our learners, we will have to wait for the mass piloting, because in this meeting we had this discussion. So different countries have or don't have regulations for micro-credentialing, so they'll say, okay, we'll wait, we'll first have this pre-pilot, and then we'll see what would be the next steps to fully integrate for each country to have everything as good as it can.
Micro-credential are useful for
It is,
level,
of course.
excluding doctorate level. I don't know, but the regulations in other countries are different. So
Yes.
and you have partners from different countries, so I wonder how you will solve this problem, because
yeah.
there are obviously different opinions.
Yes, and we followed the EU's micro-credentialing system. So, but we opted, because we don't have regulations in all the partner countries, we opted to follow those guidelines at a one-to-one mapping, but have the credentialing from our own platform. So you can apply to our platform, get the credentials. You get this, but this is issued from us. It's not issued from this EU governing body. This was the initial idea, but for now we have our own micro-credentialing system.
As you know, we were told that the government is pushing that by the end of this year they will specify regulations on this. So my advice is that you try to contact these guys and to try to get an agreement how to solve this. Otherwise, we have different solutions. This is not good.
Yes, yes. We had a meeting yesterday, our monthly meeting, but we were here, so I'll most definitely pass it on to the work package coordinators to have this settled as soon as possible. Thank you. Any other questions, perhaps? If not, that's all from my side, and we will continue. We have an online. Online is the second presentation. Let me see if Zoom. Okay. Professor Miroslava, can you hear us? Okay, now you should hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, so I will just give a brief introduction. So the next project presentation is improving the quality and sustainability of learning using early intervention methods based on learning analytics, or ESILA, and it will be presented by Professor Miroslav Raspopovic-Milic from the Belgrade Metropolitan University. Professor Miroslav, the floor is yours, or the screen is yours.
Thank you, Lemon, and thank you for presenting CMET. That was, as usual, pretty interesting to hear and to see that the project is moving along quite nicely. The project, am I sending the slides? Okay, so I really like, just like Nemanja, to briefly describe what we are doing in the SELA project, both where we are right now and what we have accomplished and where we are heading. The SELA project is actually Erasmus Plus project, but focusing on the cooperation partnership among higher education institutions. And the priority that this project is focusing on is the digital transformation of higher education through the development of the digital readiness. The project has started effectively last year, or the last day of the last year, 2023, and it's a 27-month duration. The partners in the SILA project, beside us from Serbia and Belgrade Metropolitan University, is the coordinator of the SILA project, University of Eastern Finland, University of Leon from Spain, Sofia University, Bulgaria, and University of Bergen, Norway. All of the partners, pretty much along with Metropolitan University, are very much focused on the online learning analytics, and this is why the consortium has been really productive. We have continued from our previous project results, also focused on learning analytics. Everyone except the Bergen University was on the ILEDA project. And in the ILEDA project, we actually addressed some of the things that we like to improve. We had great results, but we noticed that just using the LMS logs was not giving us enough input on the student progress. So we decided that we should collect and analyze multimodal data. So not only LMS, but also different sources, which I will briefly show you in the next several slides. And we also noticed that doing, well, which is kind of intuitive, but it will surprise you how often this has not been done, not in our projects, but in general. Post hoc analysis are fine, but what we really want to see is that we can do real-time interventions, that we have real-time input on what's going on in the class. So we really wanted to address from all of this data that we have to monitor students and try to detect who are the students at risk. So this project also, not only in real time, but also we want to do the interventions during the course itself. So the project objectives are to develop these interventions. We have developed the guidelines so far. We are still polishing it a little bit as we are identifying different metrics among 5 universities. Everybody has different context in teaching. Everybody wants to focus on different things to follow throughout the semesters. We have a lot of restrictions considering usage of learner data and ethical and legal guidelines that we have to follow here. So as usual, those are challenges, but we are overcoming them. And the objective is to visualize all of this data in real time and be able to use these interventions throughout the semesters. So these are the project objectives, and our project, as you can see here, is in 6 work packages among the regular management and dissemination. What we are focusing in building the data infrastructure preparation, which means that we are developing different dashboards. Of course, as I said, ethical requirements, different consent data for data collection, and which is most important in the work package of these interventions that we will be able to implement. Work package 3 is where we are right now. We have been developing these guidelines, and just in the past 2 days, we have finished the teacher training, and this is the reason for my online joining this conference this year. And now we are getting prepared to finalize all of this and put it into the curricula, and see how all of this data can be collected. And what we have been asked for, and each university is going to pilot all of the interventions, all of the data collections in at least 2 courses, and in Metropolitan, we will be doing this in 3 courses, actually. analysis, how we implemented these interventions, how we collected this data, was this sufficient? And we really want to be able to implement this to identify the learning patterns and see how we can develop this even more, everything with a focus on developing more learning. And this is why we want to focus on the learning patterns. Some of planning to collect, as you can see here, different universities are using different LMS systems. In Metropolitan, we are using Learning Activity Management System. In Norway, they're using Canvas. And in other three universities, they're using Moodle. We, in ILEDA, had some pretty good success in using weekly surveys where we really want to measure motivation, anxiety levels of students, and see how they're progressing as far as both of these throughout the semesters. So the plan in each university is to collect this data weekly. Most of us are using videos, so we want to see the usage of the video assignments that we will be following. But some of the, let's say, different sources of data that we haven't used so far is something that some of the partner universities have been using really successfully in the past. So we really want to see the level of engagement in their participation and how this is going to influence the progress in the course. What's listed here is in games is some of the universities will be using most likely escape rooms. And as far as the AI is, again, this usage of ChatGPT. So how are we collecting this? Each university has to collect the data at their local repositories. The reason for this, of course, is the privacy of the data. So everything is being stored at each university. Considering that we are using different LMS system, we have developed a lot of different tools that is going to help us to analyze this data with a common tool. So this is why Discord surveys, games, and even Canvas, they're all going into the different wrappers and transformers of the data that is going to be able to be read by in XAPI format. So the project is really focusing on the XAPI format. As far as the global repository system, this is something to be left at the end, but even in the previous project, anything that goes on the global is fully anonymized. So once it goes on the global, we really cannot track the individual student anymore. So this is the reason why we are doing most of this stuff locally. Some of the, as I said, the different capturing of different elements and data from the and putting them in XAPI format. So right now, this is not for LUMP, but it is for Moodle, the plugin written that is really reading data on the video usage, and this is already available on our project website. CSV to XAPI tool is also very useful as you can put CSV file and it will be automatically transforming it into the XAPI format. And we're going to be using this for Discord, for surveys, and for some other sources of data. As I said, ChatGPT will be used by some of the institutions in a sense of using the ChatGPT to query and learn. And teachers that will be using ChatGPT want to follow the interactions, want to follow what kind of queries students are asking and how they're approaching solving their problems. So, of course, this, in order to be useful for the analysis, needs to be also pulled from ChatGPT. So the tool for that has been developed, and the scraper, at least at this analytics that can be used, but it's something that is going to be further developed. This is just one of the initial ones, but we have moved along quite a lot, considering that we have all these different sources of data. I was trying presentation, but it's still in the raw format. Main reason is because right now we're using data from the previous project, and once the pilots are starting, we will have all of the data that I have just mentioned. So we don't have the Discord data, we don't have ChatGPT data, at least not the real ones. It is really hard to show the dashboards that have no data, but the dashboards are pretty much ready yesterday, and the course piloting are planned for 2025. Actually, for us Metropolitan, we're starting in February, and some of the other partners are starting end of December and January. So we will be seeing results hopefully really, really fast. Realization. Some of the results have been published in the research papers, and these are just some of them. But next year, once we have all of the piloting completed, I'm sure we will have more published work. But even with the ones that have been published so far, there you can see them on this slide, and they are already receiving some awards for the research done. And in the last slide, if you're interested in this project or using some of the results, you can scan this QR code. It will bring you to the project website. The project is also on different social media, so you can pretty much live follow there some of the accomplishments. So this was not confusing with too many slides, but if anybody has questions, I will be really happy to answer.
Thank you, Professor Miroslav. Yes, we have questions.
Thank you. Because of differences among partners, how you will share information? Do you plan to share, or each institution is doing a different approach to monitor their own students? Because you mentioned that it must be personalized. That means there is no common data sets. So how you plan to do that?
Nemanja, can you just repeat for me, because I heard half of the question?
Yes. Each institution will have their own data, and we're talking about personalization. How would you, how will that data be interpreted in a common way?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So the personalization is the goal of the project right now. So the goal is to analyze the different behaviors and patterns in all of these usage of different tools, let's say. And then once we have the data, then we analyze and see how in the future we can actually do personalization with these different sources of data. How are we going to use it? During the piloting, we will use our own data in our own dashboard. So we are not going to aggregate data with other universities, because as the class is going on, I need to see by name which student is progressing and how they're progressing. And only I can see that as a teacher, or whoever the teacher is in that case. So we cannot share that information outside of our institution. So this is part of the ethical guidelines that we have to follow and that we should follow. So at point where we want to aggregate data with other universities for this pattern analysis, behavior analysis, in the future purpose for the personalization and detecting different student models. For the aggregation, we have to anonymize the data. So at that point is going to be different strategy for the analysis, because then it's not really clear. All of the students are in the long hashtags and the codes, and then it's really hard to follow which student and which. But then the analysis is going to be more in the line of the different student models. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions, perhaps? Not, then we will conclude the second presentation. Thank you again, Professor
Thank you.
And we will continue. Let me just, okay. Continue. The project is entitled Shift, ESG Impact in Higher Education by also Erasmus+, funded by Erasmus+, and presenting the project will be our professor from the Faculty of Management from Belgrade Metropolitan University, Professor Goran Pavlović.
Thank you, Nemanja. Good morning, everyone. As Nemanja has already said, my name is Goran Pavlović, and I am the assistant professor at the Faculty of Management at Belgrade Metropolitan University. Well, I will use this short opportunity in 15 minutes to present you some key aspects of the project in which Belgrade Metropolitan University is one of the participants. And since most of you here are IT experts, I hope you will find this presentation interesting, and in that reason I will try to be more effective as possible. So, I'm sorry. Okay. At the beginning, I would like to show the structure of the project we will be discussing in the next 15 minutes or less, starting with partners that are included in this project, then with project objectives, and finally we will finish the presentation, which is not seen on the... Okay, this shows that I'm not the IT expert. Okay, so when we talk about the facts of this project, I would like to emphasize that it is in the domain of cooperation partnership in higher education, and it is related to addressing digital transformation through development of digital readiness, resilience and capacity, and environment and fight against climate change. It is planned that this project will end at the end of February 2026, so it has already started. And at the beginning, I would like to show you some of the key all partners of the project. As you can see, coordinator of the project is University of Almeria from Spain. There are University from Poland, Sweden, there's Belgrade Metropolitan University, and the rest of the organizations here are not higher education institutions, but are science center, research centers, etc., coming from Germany, Portugal, and from Romania. So what is the motivation behind this project, which is led to the objectives of the project itself? I would like to emphasize that environmental, sustainable and governance aspects are very important in every aspect today, and higher education institutions are not excluded from that list. Higher education institutions are the key creators and disseminators of knowledge, and their task is not to create just high academic achievement, but also to create future leaders that are equipped with human capital that is related to sustainable aspects such as ESG principles. So by integrating those principles into their curricula and policy activities, higher education institutions might be prepared to attract more qualified students and also qualified staff, and to make better relation with their stakeholders, which in finally can lead to the better performance of the higher education itself. So this leads us to the project objectives. As you can see at the beginning, it is the increasing of the capacity of higher education institutions to contribute to sustainable development goals that are related to ESG principles. Then to equip higher education institutions key subjects such as students, also academics, researchers, and other staff with essential knowledge in sustainable aspect, and finally to strengthen the transnational cooperation with other experts in those fields and related areas. So how do we plan to obtain those objectives? As you can see, each partner here is obligated to implement research in ESG domain. Those informations will then be integrated into the ESG Impact Index matrix that will provide sources and informations to higher education institutions how to identify most important ESG standards, how to develop them, how to control them, and improve them, which will finally create the knowledge that will be used in teaching and learning into higher education institutions. And also one of the important results that is planned in this project is to create index platform, about which I will say some information in this slide. As you can see, the ESG Impact Index Open Access Platform is the key expected result of the project. What is actually that platform? It is a comprehensive tool for higher education institutions that will give them information and knowledge how to identify most important standards related to environment, society, and to governance, how to measure them, how to control them, and how to improve them. So where are we now? Since the project has already started, we are currently finalizing the work package 2, which is led by the Sweden University. And I would like to emphasize that this work package 2 has one final task, which is important for us in work package 3, since the work package 3 is led by Belgrade Metropolitan University and is the action framework ESG and impact communication strategy. Why is it important? Because of the work package, last task in the work package 2 is related to identifying indicators in the ESG domain. We have obtained 34 topics, which is related to ESG principles, and we provided those informations to the Sweden University, and they will use it in providing and creating the strategy in future work packages. So I will, in next few slides, just show you what those indicators are in order to better see what it's all about. In the environmental principle and dimension, we have identified 3 relevant areas. Those are campus operations, research and innovation, and procurement. And each of them has important topics that must be measured, controlled, identify those risks, positive and negative impacts. As you can see, some of them which can be emphasized at this moment is energy management, use of renewable energy, green supply chain management, etc. In the next dimension, which is social dimension, we have also identified 3 relevant areas. Those are equity and access, well-being, research, and innovation. Among them, we can say that important are diversity, well-being, for sure, innovations, etc. And finally, we have governance dimension. Well, we have identified 4 areas in this case. Those are management and accountability, ethics and integrity, digital readiness and security, stakeholder engagement and communication. And we can see that in the digital readiness and security, for sure, every topic is very important. So what is next? After identifying those indicators, we will now identify each risk in each indicator, positive and negative impacts of such indicator, how to measure them, how to control them, and we will finally use those informations to develop ESG Impact Index matrix. What this matrix will be? This matrix will contain all of those topics I have previously mentioned, ways to measure them, their risks, negative impacts of such risks, positive impacts, and informations how to improve those indicators in future higher education institution functioning. This is the official website of the project, which is currently into development phase, but you can see some essential informations on it on the website or just by scanning the QR code. So this will be all from me based on this project. So I would like to hear any questions if there are.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions? I'll have just a quick question. So ESG is like environmental social governance standards. It's the collection of standards used for different purposes. So from our point of view, from Belgrade Metropolitan's point of view, how are we standing with with the development of those things?
Thank you for the question. Actually, we're in quite good position at this moment, especially related to social dimension and governance dimension. When it comes about the environment, well, we have some results that are good, but we have to have in mind that this dimension and those principles are still in currently development phase in Serbia as well. So I'm expecting some better results in future period, and I'm sure the results of this project will help us obtaining the knowledge and informations how to improve them and become one of the European leading institutes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Questions again, perhaps? Well, thank you again for your presentation. Yes, it's better. So I will just introduce you. We now have the presentation of the project implementation of game-based learning using escape rooms, and it will be presented by our full BMU. Professor.
Okay, thank you. It's very big pleasure for me to present the project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there with you today because I'm today at another conference in Kragujevac. Anyway, this is a very big honor that we have a chance to work together on this new project. So as you said, it's Igloo. It is about game-based learning. So we are trying to gamify the learning all over the Europe, but at first at the Spain, Finland, and Serbia. So the goal of the project is to empower universities to create and conduct pedagogically sound educational escape room. The program, as you can see here, will started at September, but officially we started unofficially we started 1 month later, and the project will end at October 2026. Also, you can see here estimated total cost, and the budget for our university is about 50,000. The partners of the projects are UPM, University of Polytechnic of Madrid. It's coordinator of the project. Belgrade Metropolitan University. The team from Belgrade Metropolitan University consists of Professor Miroslav Raspopovic, myself, and also we have Olga in the team as an administrator. We have Serba as a web designer, and we also have one young student, external collaborator, Maja Ćosić. She's game designer. So this is the team from Belgrade Metropolitan University. Together with us are University of Eastern Finland, and of course Sonsoles. Probably all of you know, a lot of you know her. And of course, the last partner is UNIR. It's Universidad Internacional de La Rioja, Spain. I will go to the most important thing, the specific objectives of the project. This project is intended to develop the platform that can be used in universities and also in high schools. And the platform will be used for the professors to create their own escape rooms. And the basic idea is that when you are solving as a student, when you are solving the escape room and puzzles, then you are learning some things in specific subject. For example, in programming, the clues or the puzzles can consist of some tests, and you can learn a lot of things about programming. If we are talking about art or marketing and other areas. Of course, the teacher can use for each puzzle can use their own questions, their own works and homeworks and so on and so on. The first objective of the project is to define a methodology. This is some kind of guidelines for the teachers and for the other staff that how can they create the escape room. And now we are in this phase of the project. The second objective of the project is to create digital tool and to provide training for the teachers. So when we provide a digital tool, then we will start to train the teachers to use this tool. Of course, all the teachers would like to have a tool that is efficient, that will not take a lot of time for them to create the puzzles, to create escape rooms. So I think this is very challenging task. When we create digital tool and when we provide the training, then the teachers will create their own educational escape rooms and will do a piloting at their courses, and they will try to see how the students like that, how the students interact, and this is, of course, the main goal of the project, to see if this new methodology can be implemented in universities, and if this methodology can empower students, how to say, uh, uh, how can they, if this methodology can support all universities to keep the students at the universities, to make dropout less than it is present now, and so on and so on. And of course, if we succeed all of this, we are planning to create a European network and to create a network with a lot of universities that can use these educational escape rooms, that can and to share puzzles and so on and so on. So these are the work packages of the project. Shortly, of course, we have project management and dissemination, and the most important work packages are 2, 3, and 4. So in work package 2, now we are working this work package. As I said, we are working on guidelines, and within this work package, we need to create some exemplary instructional scenarios. In work package 3, we will develop a digital tool for promoting educational escape rooms. So we need to create a platform, we need to develop some reusable puzzles, and of course, we will have to deploy this European network. We have teacher training and implementation of educational escape rooms. So when we are finished with our platform, as I said, we will try to implement that in various classes. As I said, art, programming, information technology, management, all of these areas can be used as areas for implementation of the escape room. And after all the testing, piloting, we will do a refinement of the methodology of the platform and escape room. Work package 5, just to mention that the Belgrade Metropolitan University is leader of this activity. Now we in the progress, we have development of the website, and all these other activities will be performed when we have first version of methodology and first version of platform. These are the results of the dissemination and exploitation activities. And of course, because it's only 1 month from the beginning of the project, we are just in the beginning of planning and so on and so on. So active work packages are work package 2. We started developing the methodology and guidelines. Work package 5, we started developing the visual identity of the project, the website, and just to mention that about guidelines and about this document, of course, the objective is to for professors to have this guideline, to be empowered with some tool and some guideline and manuals in order to effectively create escape rooms. Of course, uh, teachers and students are the most important actors of this project, and the teachers is intended to be designers and facilitators. Teachers need to be enthusiasts in order to in order also to be creative, to adapt puzzles and to adapt game mechanics in order to provide interesting tool for students. Also, students, because the role of the students is here the central, because we will try to develop a tool that will be used by the students and to uh, uh, ensure that students are more interested for studying and so on and so on. Dissemination activities like planning for social media channels, and we developed the first version of a website. And just to show some platform that is also already created by the UPM Madrid. So they in previous period they created some platform for escape room, but it is not so effective, and it is not spreaded across the Europe. So the main goal is to use this existing platform to empower this platform with new puzzles, with also enhanced game mechanics, and to make this platform convenient for use and to be effectively used all over the Europe. And the conclusion is that we believe that the results of the project will be of use for all those who want to escape the boredom of their classes and to try to use new methodologies in game mechanics that make them think outside of the box. So thank you for your attention, and I'm happy
Thank you so
to
much.
hear your questions.
Are there any questions from the audience? If not, I'll just ask a question. The idea is very, very good, and we've known that gamification is something that is really trending. My question is, I think we will have more time and more trouble motivating the teachers than motivating the students to use these kinds of mechanics. So can you please address how are you going to develop the teacher training part for these methodologies?
I'm not really because it's the beginning of the project, so I'm still not sure how we will do that. But we will definitely provide some, of course, classes for the teachers in one to one. We will also provide manuals. I think it is very straightforward to when we have all these things done. As I said, when we develop the platform, when we develop the manuals, I already started to discuss with some professors from University of Metropolitan, and I catch some ideas because also they have some specific needs, so we need to think about them. So if we need to develop a platform that can be used by the professors for their specific needs. So I think the training would be easy to do if we succeed to finish successfully this work packages 2 and 3.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Milosevic. I think that it will be also interesting, very, very interesting for the teachers and professors as well. Thank you again.
Hello, everyone. I have a great pleasure to present our project that we have on Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Sinfino, Innovation Incubator of Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. To be honest, I'm a little bit nervous because my presentation is a lot of different than yours, and this project is not a scientific project. This project should promote innovation, should promote entrepreneurship and commercialization of research projects. Different one. Okay, thank you. Samo sa strane, okay. So, what is actually Sinfino? Sinfino is one year-long project. It was funded by Ministry of Science, Innovation, and Technology Development, and it's pre-incubation program for students and researcher startup teams. Pre-incubation is the process when you have some startup idea or some business idea, and you mostly have just team and mostly that idea. You need some more skills to develop, and you have to start working on your idea. So it's just idea, just team, and nothing more than else. And that is from on the. I'm a little bit nervous. Sorry. On the government recognized that is the crucial part of developing startups and innovation businesses is to gain support on that pre-incubation phase and to promote science and to help academia to start working with with industry. Also is promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship among academia, as I said. Faculty of Mechanical Engineering is one of 14 accredited scientific and research organizations in the territory of Republic of Serbia that was funded for this project. As I said, it's Ministry of Science, Technology Development and Innovation. And the first year that we applied was like pilot phase to see on the scientific organizations our critical mass to develop and to create startups. Next week it will be 1 year of our project. So it's completion of a project, and we're waiting for at the end of this year or the beginning of the second to start working. On the faculty, we don't like to call this project because when you say that something is a project, it's something that will be finished and terminalized. We have we look on this as a vision to promote entrepreneurship, and the innovation incubator of Faculty of Mechanical Engineering will become the organizational unit on the faculty. So we try to be sustainable and to continue working even if we don't get funds to continue. This is our partners because we're not alone in this topic. It's a Faculty of Occupational Safety, Faculty of Civil Engineering and Architecture, Science Technology Park Niche, and also Ministry. We have some fields that our researchers and students can get mentorship and can get mentor programs to develop their businesses. First of one is artificial intelligence, then automation and robotics, Internet of Things, environmental protection, renewable energy sources, circular economy, construction engineering, new materials, and digital water management. But as you will see in my presentation, we have a lot of solutions that are beyond these 8 fields. Why now? As I said, the government recognized the need in the academia to develop these skills and the need to boost our innovation ecosystem. So every year there is startup scanner that is analyzing our current state of startup ecosystem. 28 years of founders in 2023 were young people between age 18 and 29, so we can see that there is a critical mass that wants to work and to develop their skills. But just 10% of founders came up with the idea during their studies. So when we look at the more developed countries than us, that other percent is really small, and we want to help them to develop and to work on their businesses. All the time I'm talking about businesses, but when we talk about entrepreneurship skills, it's not just to start your own business. We want to promote them and to help them to also become entrepreneurships, even if they do entrepreneurs, even if they don't want to start their own businesses, but also in some companies when they start working. This is some of our services and activities. First of one is pre-incubation, as I was talking about. It's mentoring program and support. And developing entrepreneurial skills. So we had a set of educational lectures that was called Innovative Entrepreneurship Days, and we were talking about how to create cooperative team, what is the basic of lean startup, how to get funding, etc. Difference of our incubator and the other 13 that are in the country is this part, and it's crucial, it's cooperation with industry. There's a lot of talking about technology transfer, but there are a lot of barriers in actual technology transfer, so we want to bond with industry and to help our researchers and students to actually work on the real-time on industry problems. So throughout the previous year, we were talking about our industrial partners and try to map their industrial problems. And we had innovation challenges. Innovation challenges was hackathon that was held last week on the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. And I'm very proud to say that we had students from University of Metropolitan that won the 3rd place. And also at the summer, we had another innovation challenge, but it was just for researchers of our faculty. I will talk about that a little bit later. And the 3rd part is funding, because startups are usually the businesses where you get some, where you don't work with your own money, but you find investors or you get some grants to work on your idea. So our goal is to educate young people how they can, not just young people, but people how to get a funding for their business ideas, and also to promote open calls and how to get grants. The most popular grant is Smart Start grant, and it's now open. I talked with a few professors from your university, and Smart Start is really interesting grant because when you it's for this phase. So when you have idea, you have your startup team, your idea has some innovation potential, and you can get 50,000 euros to work on your idea. It's usually nine months long projects. And our goal is there to help with applying on that specific grant. Until now, we have more than 250 participants in our lectures and our workshops. This was from Innovative Entrepreneurship Days. This is industrial challenge that I was talking about that was held in our faculty at summer. It was just for researchers, and it was presenting the problem that had the electric power company of Serbia. And we formed one team that had 2 proof of concepts that soon should be presented to the electric power of Serbia, and we hope that we will get project to work more on those solutions. The next photos are from innovative challenges that I was talking. We have more than 20 participants, formed 5 teams, and 2 teams that were participating decided that they want to continue working on their ideas. The aim of this hackathon was detecting leaking or the temperature change in a pipe. The problem also was formed by a real industry partner from our faculty, and I think that one team will apply for Smart Start that was talking, and the other team will present their idea to the industry partner and try to work more with them. This is just some numbers. We had more than 10 interviews with potential startup teams. From that, just 6 of them were formed, and this is a health control team that is developing hyperbaric equipment that got that Smart Start financing, and there is in cooperation with professors from our faculty and professor from pharmaceutical faculty of Niš. it's LigaSurg that won Accelerator Program Launcher. It was first accelerating program in a niche organized by Science Technology Park. So as I said, as next week our project will finish, we are also the part of the next accelerator program. And the LigaSurg is also developing medical device. I cannot talk much about that because they're preparing their patent. But as you can see, although we have 8 crucial fields of helping and mentoring to start their businesses, we also have a lot of medical ones. So in our work, although there are students and researchers that have their own idea and we want to motivate them to work on their own ideas, we also recognize the need to present to them the real-time problems and to guide them in which field they should focus more. This is our team that is working on the project, and if you want to find out more, there's our site, my email, and if you scan this QR code, it's my LinkedIn profile. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the audience? Then I'll just have one question. You said that you had a hackathon and there were students from our university, right?
Yes, yes.
Excellent. So I'm guessing that in the next activities we will promote and we will try to include our own faculty here as much as we can.
Yeah. That is the idea, and I think that is the reason why I'm promoting my project here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Give intro to our paper.
Hello, everyone present. My name is Abhinav. I'm joined here by Vijay Kumar sir, Siddharth Tiwari. We're co-authors of this paper. And our paper is essentially machine learning-driven anomaly detection for IoT network security. So we made this project as a part of our minor project for final year. We are both final year students from SRM Institute of Science and Technology. And before I start, to have you understand what exactly we mean by detection of anomaly in IoT networks is how many of you have watched Big Bang Theory? So there's an episode where Sheldon and Leonard are sitting in their living room, and the IoT lights, they are hacked by Chinese hackers. So basically, that's the type of problem our research here tries to tackle. So we essentially created the model using an isolation forest implementation, which was a built up from our previous papers. Can you share the next slide, please? Yeah. So the Internet of Things has transformed ways industries and devices operate by enabling seamless communication and coordination among diverse systems. The interconnectedness fosters great efficiency, productivity, and convenience. However, the same features that make IoT revolutionary also expose it to significant security risks. The network of apparatus ranging from household appliances to industrial sensors allows harmonious data flows, making real-time monitoring, automation, and decision-making possible. Strict security risks come with the key advantages of efficiency, productivity, and ease of our use. Anomaly detection has emerged as a critical security feature for Internet of Things, designed to combat dynamic and ever-evolving nature of cyber threats. Unlike traditional methods that rely on static databases of unknown attack signatures, anomaly detection focuses on identifying unusual deviations from typical network behavior. This approach makes it particularly effective against unknown or emerging threats that do not match existing patterns, offering a proactive solution to safeguarding IoT systems. Next slide, please. So the main strength of our IoT model, anomaly detection model, is its adaptability. As IoT environments rapidly evolve with shifting communication protocols, and network configurations. Anomaly detection systems, however, continuously monitor network activity, learning and adapting to new behaviors by spotting deviations like unusual data transfer or device interactions. They can detect potential threats in real time, offering dynamic and effective security. Traditional security methods struggle with complexity and variability of IoT networks, which essentially means that they're unable to efficiently handle real-time data, because IoT networks usually the type of data that model is of real-time nature. And in contrast, anomaly detection models analyze real-time data, as it says on the presentation, to identify deviations indicating potential threats, such as sudden surges in data requests or unusual device interactions. So next, please. So now I'm going to discuss about the research gaps which we had. So most of the existing anomaly detection are complex and not suitable for resource-constrained environments. These models often require significant computational resources, which can limit their applicability in real time, especially in large-scale IoT networks. There is a need for more efficient models that can scale effectively to handle the increasing volume and diversity of data in dynamic IoT systems. Dataset limitation generalization. A common limitation in existing research is the reliance on specific datasets such as bot IoT or UNSW bot IoT, which may not fully capture the diversity of real-world IoT traffic or anomalies. This restricts the generalizability of models to different environments, and further research is needed to evaluate models across a broader range of datasets, including new and unlabeled data, to improve their robustness and adaptability. So another limitation or gap is the model interpretability and unsupervised learning. Several machine learning models used in IoT anomaly detection suffer from a lack of interpretability, which can be a barrier for their deployment in practical mission-critical applications. The inability to understand how models make decisions hinder their trustworthiness in real-world scenarios. Additionally, there is a gap in application of unsupervised learning techniques that can detect anomalies without relying on labeled data, which is often scarce in IoT settings. Standardization and study quality is another gap factor. The inconsistency in pre-processing techniques, sensor types, and machine learning algorithms used across various studies hamper the comparability and reproducibility of research outcomes. Further, the quality of studies varies significantly, with some lacking rigorous evaluation, metrics, or comprehensive testing, making it difficult to draw definitive conclusion about the practices of IoT anomaly detection. Next slide, please. So now I'm going to discuss the goals, objectives of our research. So in order to enhance effectiveness and robustness of our detection system, we aim to achieve the following objects. To access performance of isolation tree for detecting anomalies without IoT networks. Now, the reason we chose isolation tree model in particular was because the very basis of design for an isolation tree algorithm was to detect IoT network anomalies. So IoT network anomalies, the only model that was not implemented for detecting IoT anomalies was the one that was created for it. So we sort of matched the obvious to evaluate the algorithm's effectiveness in comparison to other machine learning techniques used for anomaly detection in similar contexts. To fill the research gap by providing a detailed analysis of isolation tree algorithm's capability and its impact on improving IoT network security. We aim to leverage the isolation tree algorithm to advance anomaly detection networks. By focusing this algorithm, we enhance the accuracy and efficiency of anomaly detection systems, contributing to the improved network security and operational reliability. So the application or novelty, what new thing we're bringing. Application of isolation forest algorithm, as I previously mentioned, unlike conventional techniques which rely on statistical methods or simpler classification models, this project uses isolation forest algorithm. This model is specifically designed for anomaly detection in high-dimensional datasets, making it suitable choice for detecting outliers and anomalies in IoT network traffic. The novelty lies in applying this algorithm to the bot IoT dataset, which represents a more dynamic and real-world IoT network environment. The second thing that we are bringing new is feature engineering with new matrices. A new feature, bytes per packet, has been created to improve the model's ability to detect anomalies. This metric captures the relationship between packet size and packet count, providing deeper insight into IoT network behavior. Such feature engineering is related to underexplored in anomaly detection research in IoT domain. Uh, Another one is pre-processing and data handling. The dataset undergoes comprehensive pre-processing steps, including handling of NaN values and coding of categorical variables using label encoding, and the scale of features using standard scaler. This step ensures that the data is in optimal format for training machine learning models, addressing issues such as imbalanced classes and missing values in ways that may not be standard in other approaches. Integration of a specialized IoT dataset. The project leverages the bot IoT dataset, which contains a rich variety of IoT traffic and attack types. This dataset is essential for the detection of different anomalies across diverse network scenarios. The choice of these datasets provides a unique context for application of the isolation forest algorithm, as it represents a complex IoT network environment that differs from traditional dataset. Model evaluation and performance matrices, the evaluation of models' performance using multiple matrices. For example, accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, and confusion matrix allows for comprehensive understanding of its ability to detect both normal and anomalous behavior in the network. Now, I'd like for Siddharth to take over.
The future works we are going to we can do in this project is real-time anomaly detection. While this project focus on batch processing of data for anomaly detection, one potential area and future work is adapting the model for real-time anomaly detection. IoT networks often generate continuous streams of data, and detecting anomalies in real time is critical for immediate response and network security. Future efforts could involve using streaming data processing techniques and optimizing the isolation forest or advanced models to work efficiently on real time data, possibly integrating frameworks like Apache Kafka or Apache Flink for handling the IoT data streams. Deep learning models for enhancing its accuracy. The techniques we can use is like autoencoders, LSTMs, and CNNs for anomaly detection. These models could help accurate capture more integrate patterns and subtle anomalies that traditional models might miss. Research unsupervised or semi-supervised learning to improve detection in highly imbalanced datasets. Cross-domain for future work is to extend the model to multiple IoT domains. While the current project uses the BOT IoT dataset, future work could include datasets from various IoT applications, such as smart home, industrial, IoT, healthcare systems, and autonomous vehicles. This would help create a more generalizable anomaly detection model that can adapt to different types of network traffic and attack scenarios. Integrating cross-domain datasets could also help in identifying common patterns across different IoT environments. Explainable the challenges with machine learning models, particularly isolation forest, is their lack of interpretability. Future work could focus on enhancing the explainability of the anomaly detection model, making it easier to understand why specific traffic is classified as anomalous, implementing shapely deductive explanations or line local interpretable model agnostic explanations could help provide insights into the model's decisions making process, increasing its reliability and trustworthiness, especially for deployment in critical IoT environments. Conclusion. The isolation forest model has shown promise in detecting anomalies within IoT network traffic. Challenges such as false negative still persists, requiring ongoing refinement. These challenges underscore the need of adjustment in model parameters, enhance to improve performances. The model's ability is to distinguish between normal and anomalous behavior in increasing complex and diverse IoT networks is crucial, especially fine-tuning these models and addressing issues like class imbalance will be key to improving their accuracy, precision, and recall. The finding from this study highlights the importance of continued research and development to adapt anomaly detection models to the evolving landscape of the IoT networks. as the network growing need for more reliable, scalable, and real-time detection systems. Future work could involve hybrid models, integration with other security mechanisms, and techniques for improving model interpretability to enhance trust and performance. Ensuring the security and resilience of IoT networks requires a commitment to continuous improvement in anomaly detection systems, keeping pace with emerging threats and the increasing complexity of the IoT environments. And these are the references paper that we used in this study. Uh, Thanking you.
Thank you so much. Now, if we have any questions from the audience. Okay, I'll ask one question. How would you compare the performance from the isolated forest algorithm with some of the more common one like random forests, ANN, regarding the false positives, accuracy, and so on? Did you?
Okay.
I should repeat it.
Yes, sir, you can repeat.
So, regarding the performance of isolated forest algorithm, how would you compare it with some of the common ones like random forest, ANN, regarding the false positives and accuracy overall?
We studied different research papers, and it was mentioned the accuracy in them, and we tried in a model, and by hyper tuning and smart and combination parameter adjustment and introducing engineering features like bytes per packet, we increase the accuracy of the previous existing isolation tree models.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other questions? No. Thank you, and we'll continue to the next paper.
afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Bhavani, working as assistant professor from Department of ECE in SRM University, India. So the topic of my presentation is about comprehensive analysis comprehensive analysis of IoT security concerns and mitigation strategies based on the influence of current trends. Basically, analysis and the techniques which has been followed in the IoT. So first is about introduction to IoT. The word IoT refers to a person can share and communicate the data from anywhere to any person at any instant. So it tells that the huge amount of data is being shared in the internet. So when our data is being communicated, then we have to think about the concerns about the security and the privacy. So privacy and security are the major issues when our data is being communicated in the net. So basically, these IoT devices are having a constraints in size as well as power, memory, and also other such factors. So these are all the drawbacks when it comes to IoT devices. And there are different types of attacks which we can expect nowadays when we are sharing our data. So the currently the mechanisms, with the existing mechanisms are solving the issues when comparing with the insider attack. So the existing mechanisms are focused on the external attack, but only fewer mechanisms are focusing on insider attack. So basically, we have outsider attack and insider attack. So insider attack is nothing but a malicious, the individual who is going to be um, uh, who is going to be inject a malicious code or thing for the internally organization. He can be a working employee or formal employee or third parties. So basically, we have two kinds of attacks called insider and outsider. So the research challenges in IoT, if you see, basically IoT research challenges are classified into poor management system, big data analytics, energy efficient, security, privacy, and trust. So if you see under security, we have different kinds of categorization called unauthorization, identity management, data communication, storage, and network. Next, we'll move on to classification of IoT attacks. So basically, attack has been classified into protocol-based and data-based. Under protocol-based, we have communication protocol, and in communication protocol, we have several attacks, as well as in network protocol, we have several attacks, as well as inside in the side, if you see data-based, under the database, we have different kinds of attacks. So these are the some classifications of attack which I have listed here. Next, if you see the security concerns in IoT, the lack of visibilities, security integration constraints, open source code vulnerabilities, irresistible data volume, poor testing, vulnerable APIs, weak passwords. Basically, if you see weak authentication and authorization, and then vulnerability in devices, then insider attacks, and DOS and DDoS attacks. So denial of service and distributed denial of service. So these are the major security challenges in IoT, if you see. And the several security issues will be listed out here. First one is the heterogeneous device configuration. So if you see here, IoT devices uses a different method of physical world communication than older traditional network devices. The variety of IoT devices has an impact on how other network modeling components work. And cybersecurity measures and privacy legislation of IoT that makes into account how IoT devices are getting affected like from physical components, which in turn have an impact on the physical environment. So as a result, a form of security problem is represented by heterogeneous property. So in continuation with that, if you see, we have add-in security policy and physical IoT threats. Then if you see exposure threat also we have. And attack types in IoT, protocol based attack, and then a data based attack. So under protocol based, as I told you that under communication protocol, network protocol, we have different types of attack. So that can be addressed with the help of the existing mechanisms. Also now ongoing research is about AI based IoT, the artificial intelligence, that is explainable AI in IoT has been influenced. So based on the machine learning and the federated learning, how the kind of attacks have been classified into the classes. So that has been ongoing research. If you see the under types of attack in database attack, the distributed denial of service. So this DDoS attack is a major challenges. So that the attacker will create a internet traffic. So that means the resource will not be available to the legitimate users. So that is the main motto of this attack. Like we have traffic sniffing attack, masquerade attack, and message reply attack, port scanning attack. Also MITM, man in the middle attack. So that kind of attack also nowadays we can frequently we can expect, like man in the middle essence, the attacker can intercept data between the two parties. Then you can see the mitigation techniques for IoT. So this is the accepted procedure for tackling various risks to IoT networks and the IoT. So here we have the techniques or the existing methodologies or the algorithm-based solutions. So these are all the listed over here. Called cryptographic solutions for protecting data. First one is a lightweight cryptographic algorithm. Next, asymmetric key cryptographic based solutions. Then ECC called elliptical curve cryptographic algorithm, and DSA called digital signature algorithm, and asymmetric key encryption. So these are all the existing methodologies or technologies that we can adapt, and we can provide the solution in terms of improving the efficiency and reducing the risk level. Also, we can avoid the communication overhead and also training complexity. So recent solutions for IoT security issues is, if you see, current solutions focus on the three main security issues as verification, trust, and the dependability of the communication route between IoT devices. Even in its current state, IoT fails to support powerful devices and lack enough adaptability to keep up with the growing number of incompatible entities. So basically, the huge amount of volume is being communicated in the IoT. For example, if you see, according to the statistics in 2034, around 112 billion devices are going to be connected in the internet. So that is a huge volume. So we have to avoid the redundant data, unwanted data. So that helps if you adapt the current ongoing machine learning, confederated learning, random forest algorithm. So if we implement that, then we can avoid the communication overheads. So that leads to improve the energy efficiency, also the training complexity. So here the next will be that the table represents recent IoT protocols and its features. So the protocols, some of the protocols have been listed like CoA protocol, DDS protocol, BLE protocol, and Sigfox protocol. What is the topology or terminology has been implemented, and what is the energy consumption for these protocols, and what are the common threats in this protocol we expect, and what is the security solution. So from the literature review, this table has been implemented. The security solutions have been proposed for these threats, which comes under these kind of protocols. So comparative evaluations on various security models. So these technique parameters and the security standards are noted to met in the assessment where confidentiality, reliability, and availability, as well as trust management between the nodes and authenticity are addressed in this section. The second table denotes you that security requirements based on the security demands. So this table also, from the literature survey, it has been identified what are the model or the technologies being used, what is the confidentiality and the integrity and availability and trust management and authenticity. So these are all the requirements which has been demanded for the security. So which model have been used, and for the particular model which has been improved. So this is what the mitigation techniques and the comparative evaluations of various models have been listed over here. So this is about the presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I will open the floor for questions from the audience. Okay, if audience don't have a question, I have one. So what's your specific view on trade-offs between added complexity and resource limitations regarding IoT devices? And is there any way we can, let's say, do some steps in order to make them scalable and practical for real-life use?
Yes, sir. Currently, I'm doing research on security in IoT, which is focused on that random forest federated learning. So my research is to uh, produce a better result, that is accuracy in terms of security, and as well as in order to reduce the communication overhead, that unnecessary data to be avoided, and thereby reducing the communication overhead and also training complexity, which improves the efficiency. And also I'm considering a few attacks. For the few attacks, I'm developing an algorithm to make it uh, efficiency to be 100%.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Applause from the audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
you.
Shall I start now, sir? I think my screen is visible.
Yes, everything is good. You can start.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So, good afternoon to everyone. This is Deliraj. I'm a research scholar at Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. So today I'm going to present my research work on real-time error analysis of exercise posture for musculoskeletal disorder, a machine vision approach. So as per this work is concerned, we are just taking the musculoskeletal pains prevention system. So that is what the main motto of developing this system. So one second. The flow of presentation, which start with introduction, literature review, problem statement, and framework of the system, and then implementation, methodology, results and system specification, and future recommendations. So as for the introduction is concerned, the musculoskeletal disorder is occurring it's occurring future generation due to the absence of movement, body movements. So especially when you're concerned with your with the IT professionals, so they most probably sitting in a one single place about on 8 hours per day, and they will be working in the same same post. So that will make them to occur this musculoskeletal disorder. So this system which helps to find their posture, and if there isn't any, the long term sitting in the same posture means, then this system which helps them to intimate whether they have to go for some walk or some little bit exercise during the working hours. So here in this system, actually, we have just started this system with measuring the angle differentiation. Actually, the prevention of the musculoskeletals can able to treated by using the exercise therapy. So this system, which helps to find out the whether the person is performing the exercise properly or not. So we are just considering in this system only the upper part of the body. So most probably the musculoskeletal disorders will be occurred in the chest area, the upper part of the body and the lower part of the body. So in this work, we are just concentrating on the upper limb motions. So especially the shoulder and then elbow. So that are all the main focus on this work. We are just done this system. So this system will be developed by using the computer vision and machine learning concept, and it is more affordable and alternative to the existing systems. That is what the main intention we are just going for this research work. And this system will not have any additional hardware like and sensors. So we are just using the visual system to analyze the exercise posture and provide the feedback to the users. So these are some the literature reviews we have gone through. As per the first literature is concerned, Girija Grish et al. Proposes the Android app, develop the Android app to find the exercise pose is correct or wrong. But there isn't tracking progress is missing in that system. So that is what the problem with this existing system. And the second work is proposed by the Rodriguez. So this work is focusing only on the single body part, especially it is concerned with the shoulder movement. So only single body part, it just focusing, and then it just finding the body posture. Then the third work is proposed by Nagarpoti. So that work is overlay the skeleton of the visual computer vision concept, and it is files to find the overlay of the posture for a longer duration. So it is only the duration up to 10 seconds. It will overlay the skeleton and then finding the exercise posture is correct or wrong. So that is the problem with the system. Then the classification of the exercise is done with the fourth work, but the feedback is not provided properly with this exercise process. And the next work is concentrated only on, once again, there is some delay. Okay, so there is no feedback will be provided in the fifth work due to the processes of the deep learning concept. So only classifying the exercises poses will be done in that work. So there is no real-time feedback will be generated. And the sixth work is mainly focuses on the fitness exercises like bicep curls. So it uses a media pipe CV2 and then open CV, those kind of systems to find the whether the curl fitness exercise is done properly or not. So now to come to the problem statements. So in the existing system, there is a time consuming and expensive and then ineffective in real-time analysis and high performance and low latency processing, and requiring high-end hardware and substantial computational resources. So these are all the findings we find from the existing system which is already available. So when you go for the time consuming, this kind of deep learning systems will require more number of hardware, and as well as the training time will takes more. So that will be makes the real-time analysis is ineffective. So, and also this high performance, which requires the high computational cost. So that makes the low latency also, that makes the computational cost is very heavier, and the low latency processing makes the system will perform in real time. So that is what the problem with the systems. So these are all the findings which we are gone through the literature review. So considering those points, we are coming to the process of generating the framework. So we are as I said already, we are just focusing on the upper extremity exercise post data sets. We are collecting the 200 samples from the 12 LT health peoples who are all in and around our region. So we are using Spider software, Spider IDE to perform the computer vision and then the human body pose. So using media pipe only, we are just generating the landmarks, finding the landmarks of the human body, and using those landmarks, we are just calculating the pose angles. So here in this work, we are just pre-process the every frames at the pixel rate of 1280 cross 720. So the implementation concern, we have 5 different phases in the implementation. First of all, we are collecting the data from the 12 healthy subjects, and we are just feed those frames into the computer vision. Then using the media pipe force estimation, we are just fixing the landmarks, and through the landmarks, when you're fixing the landmarks, the system it requires some pixel sizes. That we are reducing it by using the data pre-processing, and as well as we are finding the joint of each and every body post, especially in the upper limb. In the joint analysis concern, we are calculating the angles between the landmarks, especially when you go for the bones of the one arm, for example, shoulder, and then shoulder point, elbow point, and then wrist point. So what is the movement they are given, the person is given. Based upon that, we are analyzing the angle and we are just validating it. So through which we are just validating the system, whether if there isn't any wrong posture is given, and straight away in the real time itself, we are providing the feedback, how many required degree of motion is due to perform a particular exercise properly. So we are just concentrating on these exercises, which is listed in this slide. So right hand elbow extension and right hand elbow flexation, then the right wrist flexion, and then wrist extension, neck flexion, and neck extension. So these are the landmarks which will be generated by using the media pipe. And these are the labels we have provided for each and every exercises. And here, the angle range we are fixing, if we are not following any standard orthopedic systems. Actually, there isn't some American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons will be provided. There is some degree of requirement of angles required for performing a particular exercise. So that will not be followed in the system, because we are just finding the landmarks and then we are just calculating in the real time, and we are fixing those degree of angles is feasible. I mean, those degree of angles is used to measure the classify the particular exercise. And these are the conditions we are following, which will be shown here. And this is the methodology. So we are focusing on, already said, the upper exercise data set we are collected, and determining the 33 landmarks using the OpenCV, and fixing the landmarks of each pose and calculate the angles. So by calculating the angle only, we are in the real time, we are just finding the whether exercise is performed properly or not. So if there isn't any wrong exercise is performed, then we will be providing the feedback as degree of motion is required to do that properly. And these are some sample outputs. So you can see here in the elbow, this is wrist flexation. And in this wrist flexation, if the person is performing the exercise properly, then the label will be provided as positive, like in correct postures is labeled as wrist flexation. So similarly for all other exercise poses also will be as displayed in this slide. So next, when we go for the incorrect poses, so in some cases we are just not done the incorrect poses. That's why it is labeled. Actually, initially we started with giving the correct or incorrect posture only. That's why these images are will be included over there. And in some slides, in some pictures, you can see the degree of motion, that is DOM, is required to perform that particular exercise, and how many angle is required to do that exercise properly. So that will be mentioned in the with the real-time images itself. So the system specification for this is work is to be done with the standard RGB camera with a pixel size of 1280 cross 720. We are using in that, but if some cases we are, the users may use some different RGB cameras. So the pixel size will be varied. So we are collecting those things and we are just resize those things into the 1280 cross 720 and using the media pipe post estimation, as I said already. And then using NVIDIA GeForce MX33 graphics processing unit, we have done this framework. And these are the future recommendation. So system accuracy may be improved. Actually, we are not measuring in accuracy manner of classifying the system because we are not implemented any deep learning in that. Only the computer vision and then machine vision approach only we have proposed in this. So the future work where we may go for the analysis of accuracy to enhance the post classification in the quality manner and in-home rehabilitation. So already some people are developed the Android based system, but it should be very independent to the users so that we can able to use in the future. Then the body occlusion challenge. Actually, when we go for performing, any person is doing the exercise, if you any other person is coming into the same frame, then it may occluded of body postures will be happen in the real time. So in the post analysis is concerned, we are not evaluating, we are not following any standard standard process of finding the exercise pose. So this can able to modify in the future work. So these are the references which we are following in this work. So that's all my presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One member of the audience have a question, so please come here.
Okay, because of the microphone. Thank you so much for this very interesting presentation. It's always nice to see machine vision and computer vision used in such purposes. My question is about your future steps. You said the first one is to improve accuracies. Now you mentioned something about that. So could you please just expand a little bit on what would be the future steps on improving the system accuracy of your current system? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, in my system, we have just directly implemented the computer vision. So this may vary the process of finding the exercise pose classification. So the quality of classifying the exercise pose will not be proper. So due to the body occlusion challenges will be occur. So when we go for the deep learning based the exercise pose classification, the classification we are just making an landmarks with the overlaying the landmarks with the humans and taking the images of those things, or otherwise we can perform, the person has to perform the exercise poses and taking the skeleton of the media pipe. So that alone we just take it as an image and we are feed it those things into the deep learning, which helps to which the system helps to provide the greater accuracy rather than the system which I am developing now. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I would have additional question if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
This is basically for some future plans and future work. How do you plan to accommodate the idea that different patients have different body structure, proportions, and even the motion patterns. So will that be a challenge for your approach or not?
Yes, sir. Actually, that is a correct point. If you mentioned actually, the body, what is it? The structure of the human body will be differ from one person to another person. But when you go for the implementation of the post estimation technique, so it won't consider about the body structure. So it was just finding the landmarks of the each and every human body. So it no need to go for the what is the structure of the human which is present in front of the camera. So it just overlay the media pipe based landmarks, and we are just finding it. So through properly. That's what my concerns.
We hear you. Feel free to continue.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
actually,
okay. Sorry, I thought there was some disruption. Thank you for your answer and for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Applause from the audience, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sleeping disorder diagnosis method, a systematic review. Flow of my presentation or introduction to sleep disorder, role of AI in diagnosis, biomedical signal processing in sleep stages, biomedical signal processing method, deep learning technique in sleep disorder diagnosis, deep learning methods, explainable AI, future direction, and conclusion. Disorder is nothing but medical condition which will affect both mental and physical quality of human being, as well as it will affect overall quality of life. Some of the health issues are daytime sleepiness, mental health issues like depression, anxiety, impaired cognitive functions, physical health issues like obesity and diabetes, and high risk of accident and difficult to work in the work field, strained relationships. Untreated diagnosis will lead to some severe health issues like neurological, metabolic, and cardiovascular compliances. Different types of disorders are, some of them are insomnia, sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, narcolepsy. Insomnia, it causes difficult to fall in sleep. Sleep apnea, it causes difficult to stop breathing for a particular period of time during sleep. Restless syndrome, it causes difficult to move our leg during sleep. Narcolepsy, it causes shows the percentage of persons which are affected by sleeping disorder. 10% of people are affected by restless leg syndrome. 30% of people are affected by sleep apnea. 50% of people are affected by insomnia. 5% of people are affected by narcolepsy. 5% are affected by some other reasons. Current diagnostic challenges are and treat them. And current methods are more expensive, more consumption of time, and less accurate. One of the traditional method is polysomnography, and this method is having more expensive and more consumption of time. So we are using modern diagnostic method under the sleeping disorder diagnosis. There are three techniques are used: biomedical signal, deep learning, explainable AI. Role of AI in diagnosis. Using machine learning and deep learning, we can get efficient diagnosis and we can get more accuracy and we can get reduced human error and scalable solution. That is more data we can use. Biomedical signal processing sleep stages. There are three signals: ECG, ECEG, respiratory signal, and two sensors: wearable and bed integrated sensor. And challenges for biomedical signals are data processing requirements and computational demands and sensitivity to different conditions. Biomedical signal processing method. Detection of sleep apnea using ECG achieves the accuracy sensory specificity of 88%, 0.13%, 84.26%, and 92.27%. Detection of insomnia using ECG, PST, HRV, LDA achieves the accuracy of 99.0%. And identifying biosignal-based sleep stages using MAML achieves the mean of 5.4% to 17.7%. Deep learning technique in sleep diagnosis consists of three networks. First one is convolution neural network, recurrent neural network, and combination of convolution neural network and recurrent neural network. The convolution neural network consists of number of layers. Using that, we can detect the complex patterns, and using sequential data, we can detect the complex patterns using RNN. Combination of both these will work out in the CNN and RNN. Deep learning methods for the detection of sleeping disorder, PPG will be used to getting the Cohen-Kappa's ratio of 0.75 against 0.69 for existing method. The detection of insomnia using EEG and HMM achieves accuracy of 86%. For detection of sleeping disorder using LSTM and CNN achieves the accuracy of 91.45% and 90.55%. For the detection of respiratory disturbance using select integrated radio frequencies and sensor and one more sensor NCS. Using that, we can get the sensitivity of 88.6% and 89.0%. Explainable AI. Using that, we can generate signals like optical, air pressure, acceleration signal, and sonographic signals. These signals are used for predicting the patterns like normal, apnea, and irregular. Three patterns like normal, snoring, load, and overall signal quantities, qualities, normal, and corrupted. The accuracy of breathing rhythms was higher than that of sleep patterns and compared to apnea. My future directions are expanding the data sets for diverse population, real-time monitoring using wearable device, cross-disorder applicability, and multimodal data interruptions. I am concluding that from the survey, it is promising the improvements in the diagnosis, and ongoing research will be enhanced clinical application of patient outcomes and healthcare delivery. These are the references. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Are there any questions from the audience? No? Okay, I'll take opportunity to ask some question. It's for me personally, it's very interesting that sleeping disorder is having strong impact on everyday life of different patients, and I'm sure that this kind of technology would contribute to solving that problem. But I wanted to ask you, have you considered what kind of challenges are there for ensuring the trust of using this kind of AI algorithms? Because as you already explained, we are sharing different kind of signals, patient data, and usually we as people are often suspicious when we are sharing such private information with some system. So is there any specific challenge you considered or something that you will consider in your future research?
Only specific one is that, sir.
Is there the trust of the patient to use this kind of AI technology, considering that AI is getting all the signals from the patient, some patient data, which are sensitive information. So have you considered the problem of trust of the patient and security overall?
Now only I'm starting, sir. So I'm not facing that, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
A very good evening to one and all present here. Sir, is my screen?
Yes, everything is visible. You can start.
Thank you. So the topic is, I myself, Soumya, I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of EC, SRMIST Katangurathur, and I'm working my research under the guidance of Dr. P. Vijayakumar, professor from the same department, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Katangurathur. So the topic of this today's work is rise adulteration reduction using convolutional neural network model with the thermal images. So here comes the presentation flow. It starts with introduction, literature survey on rise adulteration reduction, and the research gap we have formulated from that and problem formulated. Then methodology we have undergone for rise adulteration reduction. Then it continues with the results and discussion. Then performance comparison with other literature works. Finally, conclusion and references. So rice is being a staple food which is consumed all over the world. And here we have taken our Indian rice varieties. Usually the broker peoples or the vendors used to mix the low quality rice variety with the high quality rice to mainly to gain the extra profit. So to deduct that, we are going with the rice filtration reduction method. So first it starts with the literature works. Juex et al. Employs headspace gas chromatography ion mobility spectrometry to detect the presence of low-cost rice in the high-cost rice. And those spectral images data are processed through SSGAN model, and which they have achieved 98% of classification accuracy. So this method involves a powdered sample and which is not suitable for the real-time analysis. The next work employs thermal imaging techniques to determine the presence of species adulteration in the rice. And those thermal images are applied to the convolutional neural network model, and they have achieved 99% of classification accuracy. So though the accuracy is higher, this method requires some pre-treatment. And the next work employs the terahertz spectroscopy to discriminate the presence of low quality rice mixed with the high quality rice. So the spectral informations are processed through SVM algorithm, and they have achieved 97.3% of classification accuracy. So in this method, the equipment utilized are costed and which is all not portable. And they have utilized some powdered samples. So the research gap identified from the rice reduction literature surveys are that. So the terahertz spectroscopy and headspace gas chromatography, all the spectroscopic equipments are costlier, which are not portable. And the results will be taking a long time to know it. And even though 98% of accuracy in achieved in the above methods, it requires some skilled operator to operate the spectroscopic equipments, and the samples need to be undergone for the pre-treatment. So the problem formulated from those literature surveys are that to develop a mechanism for detection of low-cost rice adulteration in the high-cost rice using convolutional neural network model with the thermal images. So the Indian rice varieties, we have taken two rice varieties we have taken. First is a premium rice variety, which is named as Karnataka Ponni, and the common rice variety is Pulungal Ponni. So the premium rice variety cost rupees 55, and the normal rice variety, common rice variety cost rupees 35. So the adulteration of low cost rice mixed with the high cost rice is the main motto of this research work. So these the images of pure sample and the mixed samples are acquired by the thermal sensor, and those thermal images are processed through convolutional neural network model, and the model will classify whether the rice is being adulterated or not. So these are the specifications of thermal camera. And while acquiring the data, we have maintained three lighting conditions. One is bright light condition. So that is we have acquired the images when the LED glows. That is under the LED, we have kept the rice and we have taken the images. And in the medium condition, the images are captured at 2-meter distance away from the glowing LED. And in the third condition, ambient light condition, when the images are captured when the LED is off. And next, the same way, we have followed the three distance measurements. One is the surface between the sample and the surface of the sensor we kept at 15 centimeter, 25 centimeter, and 30 centimeter. That is three distance measurements we have obtained, and the thermal images are also acquired. So totally, we have acquired only 18 pure samples of thermal images and 36 adulterated thermal images. So it is not possible for the convolutional neural network model to process only less amount of data. That's why we are going for the data augmentation. So the data augmentation is carried out to increase the number of images by flipping, rotating, resizing, cropping, etc. So these are the table 1 represents the adulterant sample preparation of pure and the adulterated samples. So after augmentation, the total number of images obtained are 396 for pure rice and 396 for the adulterated rice samples. So here comes the images of RGB images of pure and the adulterated rice samples and also the thermal images. The next figure shows the convolutional neural network architecture we have employed for classification of adulteration. So the next simulation parameters are given here with the image sizes of 320 cross 320, and number of filter is 16,32, filter size is 3 cross 3, stride is 1 and padding is 0, learning rate is 0.4, pooling is max pooling, and convolutional layers are 2. Here comes the performance matrices. We could able to achieve a binary classification of 95.83% and precision of 89.29%, recall of 96.15%. Here, next coming to the performance comparison of rice adulteration with the other literature works. So the first work employs Chinese rice varieties mixed with the other premium varieties, and they have achieved 97.3% of accuracy. In this method, the equipment replaced is costlier. The next work employs Indica and Japonica rice varieties, and the thermal images are processed through CNN model, and they could able to achieve 99%. So in this method, pre-sample treatment is required, and some equipped persons are required to operate the machine, and it is not considered about the environment. The next work employs the Ponni, Basmati, and the brown rice varieties, that is normal Indian rice varieties, and they have processed RGB images through artificial neural network model and achieves 93.34%. They have utilized the online data sets. Our work employs Indian rice varieties of premium and the low-cost common rice varieties. We have obtained the thermal images and it is processed through convolutional neural network model. We have achieved 95.83%. So we have utilized the whole sample. It is not a powdered sample of rice, and it is platform free. We have obtained the images in environmental free condition. So next, this contribution is the proposed system utilized the Indian rice samples such as high cost and Karnataka Ponni with the low cost Pulungal Ponni for classification of adulteration with the thermal images. We could able to achieve the classification accuracy of 95.83%. In the near future, we could go for other rice varieties mixture combinations like that. So here are the references, and thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Are there any questions from the audience? No. So again, I'll ask a question. I had a chance to work with that exact same camera, and how I have some ideas how we can work, although it was in lab environment. I would like to ask, are there any situations where environment influenced your measurements and screens you managed to capture? Do you need to be careful during which periods you are doing such imaging and measurements, or it's fairly stable regardless of the environments?
Yes, sir. If we are developing a system with that thermal camera and we are going for measurement in normal market, so environment condition is required there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This will be the last paper for this session. Now we will we'll make a small pause of like 15 minutes for coffee break, and we'll continue with the second session for today.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. Okay, so the topic of our paper is about applying AI in higher education. My co-authors are Dragana Nikolić-Ristić, here present, and also Bojan Đorđević, Anja Marković, and Pavle Mitić. So in this paper, we will present some of the results of the research that we conducted this year in June. Basically, we surveyed our students and our professors and administrative and marketing staff. And the topic was, what are their attitudes towards applying AI in education? So first of all, when we talk about AI, we can say that AI is a system or systems that have the task to first collect data, then analyze it, use it to make decisions, and that is basically a system that has the ability to improve itself over time. So the systems that can be used in education include, for example, ChatGPT, machine learning, online learning, etc. Some of the research previously conducted by various authors worldwide and as well in Serbia showed that the attitudes of people, of respondents towards AI have the highest level of trust. The people have the highest level of trust in educational institutions, so faculties, universities, research institutions, to implement AI. And it's very interesting, the lowest level of trust was in government institutions. The results of our research, we had around 40 or 41 questions, and here we will present some of the questions. So the number of respondents was 303, and the majority of them, 210, were our students, and 93, right? So 93 people were professors, teaching assistants, administrative staff, marketing staff. So from the students, we had students from all 4 years, and we had students from all 3 of our faculties, and also Futura and FEFA in a smaller amount. So I would also like to say thank you to everyone who completed this survey. Maybe some of you here present also remember it was in June. And I also want to say thank you to Nemanja and Mile for also distributing that, that survey, because we have also many people, many students from FIT and FDU who also completed this, not only from Faculty of Management. So some of the questions that we want to present here. For example, the respondents said that around a third of them said, like, we are familiar with AI, with neural network. Another third said not so much, and another third said yes, very much. So it was like, maybe we expected a larger number of people to be familiar with it, but okay, let's say that's space for improvement. For example, the next question here was, I intend to use AI in education, in teaching, in learning, in administration, etc. And the majority of people agreed that they do intend to use it. Maybe I didn't say at the beginning, so the way that they answered the questions was on the Likert scale, so people answered from 1 to 5. 1 meant I completely disagree, and 5 meant I completely agree with the statement or the question, let's say. The next question was, AI technology is useful for teaching and studying. and the majority also said that they agree with that statement. The next question was, I can use AI and chatbot technology to get an accurate answer to my question. And also the majority of people said that they agree with that. The next one was, AI technology can improve administrative tasks and administrative work at the university. Also, the majority of people said yes, so the majority of notes were 3, 4, and 5. The next question was, AI can improve the efficiency of higher education. Also, the majority of people said yes. Basically, the higher grades. The next one was implementing AI in analyzing data on students can improve prediction of their future success in their studies. And also the respondents, the majority of them said, yes, I completely agree, or somewhat to a certain degree. On the other hand, these questions maybe were like in a positive tone. The next two were, for example, that AI can have a negative impact on critical thinking of students, basically that it can decrease critical thinking. And this question was also answered with these higher notes. This means that the people majorly agree that it can have a negative impact. The next one is similar, so that AI can have a negative impact on the creativity of students. Also, the majority said yes or agreed with that. Most of average grades were around 3.5. Only this first question that was related to basically being familiar with the term. AI neural networks, this was a little lower because, as I showed before, let me see, in this question you can see, so basically it was 1/3 not so much, 1/3 yes, I'm very familiar, and 1/3 was like in the middle. So based on all of this, we can, let's say, conclude that the effects and benefits of implementing AI based on the attitudes of our students and professors, suggest that AI can help get accurate answers to your questions, that AI can help improve administrative work, that AI can help increase efficiency in higher education, that it can help predict student success in the future based on previous activities, and also that AI can have a negative effect on students' creativity and critical thinking. So this is, let's say again, based on the attitudes of our students and professors. To conclude, we want to say that both students and staff of university have recognized the importance of AI, and they do intend of using it. Some are already using it, and our suggestion is to organize some training activities for both students and professors to gain more knowledge how to use it, to understand the benefits of it, and to reduce distrust. Because of the thing that I mentioned before, that students and professors think that it can decrease creativity and critical thinking, we also want to emphasize that AI should be like a contribution or addition to studying, to learning, and it shouldn't completely replace the process of studying and learning. Okay, so we just want to say that this paper was one of the results of our internal research projects at Faculty of Management. The authors of this paper are also members of that project team. So that's it. Last year I concluded this session, but this year I'm first, so I cannot say see you at the dinner. But, okay, thank you.
We thank Milica for this presentation. I have two questions.
Okay.
Hopefully, if they will be short. First question is, what was the biggest challenge while creating this questionnaire form, considering that the quality of questions and the options you offer for answering directly influence the value of information you gain at the end? So it's a really sensitive process. And the second question is, considering that you're supporting use of AI and you're promoting how positive it can be on creativity and how it can upgrade the thinking process, have you used AI during the preparation of this questionnaire release?
Yes. Yes, thank you very much for the questions. Yes, so the first one was related to making formulating the questions, yes. So basically, like it should be done in every research, first we try to see, have there been previous surveys conducted, what were the questions offered there, and then based on that we formulated our own survey. So we modified it, it wasn't like a copy-paste from anywhere, because then there wouldn't be any originality, right? And the formulation, like one possible option was like, have yes or no questions, but that's like very simple, right? So a Likert scale is really better when you have attitudes. You don't have something that can be objectively measured, so the only way to do it is like on a Likert scale. Maybe at first we didn't know how many people would complete the survey, but also our teaching assistants helped us very much because they also have a lot of students. So we are basically satisfied with the number at the end, because 300 people in, let's say, 1 week or 2 weeks it was. So we are happy that we completed that. And the second question was, have we used AI? Yes. So for this purpose, we haven't used it. Maybe it would make our lives easier or faster doing this task, but we haven't used it because I explained previously how we did the process. But I do remember some of the online sessions where you also were present last year, when we did use for another purpose the AI, and it did really improve the time, it reduced the time. So I saw the benefits, yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Milica. Another question.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your presentation. I have just a question about one of the questions. I think, as I recall, you included, there was a question, are you planning to use AI tools for all students, activities, and so forth? Was there a question, do you already use the AI in learning?
Yes, there was. We had 41 questions. Here we presented 9 questions. So yeah, there was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us some insights on that? Were the students positively answering, or would they answer, no, I don't do that?
Well, the answers were from 1 to 5, so it wasn't a yes/no question. But yeah, there were students that were using it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thanks everybody, it's my big pleasure to present my first written paper. My name is Marko Gorišek. I'm here a master student on the fields of cybersecurity, and on this paper I have worked with professors Dušan Simjanović, Milan Tančić, and Nemanja Zdravković. It's on the vulnerability of modern microservice frameworks. So for a quick outline, we have an introduction, advantages of microservices, some quick literature, what they represent, some major security vulnerabilities about them, some proposed mitigations, and a final conclusion. My honest, humble opinion. So for the introduction, all web services that were made that are not operating systems are made using a quick user interface, a business logic, and data access layer combination using a database. It was a really fast and quick solution to make softwares, but as soon as our requests grow bigger and the scope and the number of users and frequently bigger users grew, we could use microservices to make some frequent or smaller, bigger applications and divide them in much more similar ones or smaller. So advantages of using microservices, they allow independent scaling and development. They can be used in different programming languages. An example, if we need some quick library processing, we could use Python and his functionalities. Issues in one service don't cascade the whole system, which means that if one system doesn't work, the whole program doesn't drop. And smaller focused services are much easier to understand, make, and maintain. So for the literature review, we used a search combining keywords like microservices, vulnerabilities, and securities. So apart from the manual searching using Google, we used IEEE Explore, ACM Digital Library, and Spring Link. And we used our services in Nauka, and we included peer-reviewed studies, excluding non-English ones and duplicates. We got a total of 32 relevant papers, based on which we gathered further insights. And even in one of the solutions, we got paperwork from our professors, Tančić and Nemanja Zdraković, and we used them in the process too, in the research. Now we can talk about some serious major vulnerabilities. So we can categorize them in different sections. One of the most important is API gateways, service discovery, network segmentation, data management, and authentication. So for APIs and endpoints, these act as a central access point for microservices. And while if they are weak authentication and insecure deserialization devices, they can lead to multiple vulnerabilities that divide on authorized access and extensive network compromise. For the service discovery part, mechanisms enable microservices to locate and communicate with each other. So if we can get a mixture of endpoint, they don't know how to work, or they can get confused, and they can use impersonalization or unauthorized access, so they can be intercepted or repeated requests, open discovery protocols, and much bigger mix in the data. So for network segmentation, means that a lot of layers can get confused, they can get exploited or misconfigured, and it can lead to a lot of user deception attacks. For data management problems, we can include SQL injections, weak encryptions, and race condition exploits. So these are data-threatened exploits, and they can lead to a big overexposed services, a lot of malicious data execution, insecure protocols, and insufficient validations. For the authentication and authorization part, it is really risky if some user can impersonate a higher class user and use his security details. So that's a common issue, and a lot of applications have a similar problem. For proposed mitigation techniques, we use utilizing strong authentication, input validation, and rate limiting that disables big drops on the program, and we know for sure who is the user using at that time. For restrict services and access, we use monitoring solutions that can pinpoint users and follow their work on the program. For strict firewall configurations and token managements, we use virtual LANs to isolate services, and now we know exactly what's the problem on what service. We use the latest modern encryption services for storage and transit. And restricting database access means that not every user has has access to available data, and he can't delete or manage that data. We enforce multi-factor authentication, which means that we use special codes. We use fingerprint or eye scanner sensors, so we can our valuest data lead to only users that we need them to use it. For the future work, we have vulnerability ranking, and in consultation with Professor Dusan, we used fuzzy logic methods, which means that one variable doesn't have only null or one like a variable, and they have values between them. Like, for example, if it's hot, it's not yes or no, it's moderate, likely yes, likely not, and similar. For the phase 2, I am a member of the Metropolitan Blockchain Laboratory, so we can use a lot of blockchain encryption services for backing data and security hashing to improve the security of the whole application. And for a phase 3 future solution, we can make a microservice-based framework which is blockchain enhanced that can provide ultimate security for the whole microservice. So to conclude the remarks, the adaptation of microservices continues to grow across industries. Every day we have new softwares, new requirements, and a lot of new users. A pressing need for continuous innovation in vulnerability detection, mitigation, and proactive defense mechanisms is identified. Should I decline the Zoom? So blockchain-enhanced microservices could lead and provide resilient solutions for critical sectors such as finance, healthcare, and Internet of Things, and make those devices really secure. Thank you for your attention, and this was our first paper on the vulnerability of modern microservices and frameworks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Marco, for your kind presentation. Any questions from audience?
Hello. So I have two questions. First question is related to your extensive research of existing papers regarding microservices. What was the most unusual solution, or is there anything new that's added to existing knowledge that you spotted during all those researches? And the second question is, which part of the microservice will you push on the blockchain in that future work? Have you considered what kind of data will be saved in such a way?
Yes. First, the second part, because it is a really easier answer. So blockchain is based on hashing some information. So it secures on the nodes and layers a lot of information that nobody knows. Even the blockchain protects itself from the information. It hashes, so it's like a really good secure network. So any information that we need, like ID or maybe some values, we can use to hash. But the best thing is to logically analyze the program and see what's the weakest point, what's the most valuable point that they can access or steal data. And that's the reason why it should be hashed, so nobody could know it. For the first question, there was a lot of R language-based Serbian papers, and they had the least valued explanations. They were really confusing, so we didn't know how to. The more we read, the more confused we get. So that's, I don't know how to how to finally answer that question. Any more questions?
Thank you.
I would use this opportunity to thank my professors. They were always here for us in the Metro Laboratory and in this university. We are big thanks to Professor Tančić and Professor Nemanja Zdravković too.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Milica Živanović, and I'm the part of the master studies of the Faculty of Organizational Science here in Belgrade, University of Belgrade. I would like to say that this project, actually, the research is the work of collaborative work of my colleagues and professors, Miloš Jovanović, Aca Aleksić, and Stefan Jančić. So our topic, as you can see, is filter for unwanted electronic mail implemented through machine learning classifiers in Serbian and English. So I'll tell you something about the introduction and actually what is our objectives, what's our main goal in this research, and how do we collect our data set, and what the methodology we had used, and how did we process our data, and at the end, what is the model evaluation and actually the result. Then I will make a conclusion, and you can be free to ask me any questions. So at first, what is our objective? It's actually, what is the subject of research? It's actually to distinguish the messages between one which is spam and the other one which is not spam. So actually we need to we actually had used multinomial naive bias algorithm and try to develop and identify all the spam messages across the multilingual data sets. In this case, we use it from the English and the Serbian. So actually, we try to use the metrics. We actually use confusion metrics and F1 score to actually calculate the accuracy of our model. And I'll show you that on the ROC curve on later slides. So for the introduction, I will say something about email. I know probably that you have already know what is the email and all the protocols, but just to mention, and what is the general security aspects of mail, actually how to prevent from spammers and actually someone who try to use our personal information. So after that, I'll tell you something about spam, what is the spam detection, and how to prevent from the spam. As you can know, let's go back to the 20th century in the late 60s when email is actually first used, and it's called ARPANET. It's actually the network that is able to sending messages between the senders, first in the one country, and now we can also use it using the net over the world. So actually, I will dwell too much on this topic, but as you can know, we can use SMTP protocols that actually the standard protocol of sending the messages and actually receiving the messages. And POP3 and IMAP protocol is used actually when you want to try to use it on the other computers and to store it and actually work on that mails and messages offline. So after that, I will tell you something about the general security aspects. As we know that there is a huge explanation of the all the scams that is now popular. It's actually all the scams for example, phishing and Nigerian scams, and we actually have to focus on the primary emails. And not to be, especially on these days when is the Black Friday. On Black Friday, we will try to go over the spam messages. So what's actually spam? The spam messages is actually something that we that we don't want. It's actually the messages that it's not that useful for us. It's actually useless. So we can define it as worthless or unwanted mails. It's actually often promotional in nature. And we try to avoid it, like not respond on that messages or provide our mails to the only trusted sources just to avoid becoming a target. And for the one who try to use our personal information. So just to mention that in Serbia law, the spam is actually classified as an offense. not a criminal act. So we need to be careful to whom we shared our personal information. So after that, I will tell you something more about the data set that we had used. It's actually the data set that we collect from the internet. It's collected from the various sources, and we collected on one data set. And after that, we'll use it in English and adapt it to the Serbian language. And we used actually method that is called multinomial naive Bayes classifier. So I will tell you something more about the amount of the data that we had collected is over the 10,000. But of course, the number is reduced after we pre-processing our data. But after that, the methodology that we used, as I said, is the multinomial naive Bayes theorem. It's actually after we collect the data and pre-processing the data, I will tell you something more about pre-processing the data. We actually try to use naive Bayes. Actually, multinomial naive Bayes is based on Bayesian theorem. It's actually, I will tell you something more about that, but we try to put some first hypothesis, and after that, see what is our parameter estimation and calculate the predictions of the new message and the new class. So after that, I'll tell you something more about pre-processing of data. When we say the pre-processing, it's actually mean that we have to do a normalization. Normalization is the part when we need to reduce of the all uppercases, numbers, removing punctuation marks, and so on, because it's useless for us. And actually, after that, we need to do lemmatization and stemming. That's the removing the suffixes from the words and just use their base. And after that, stop words removal. That's actually, we try to remove all the words that it's actually like, I don't know, maybe, sorry, maybe something like on and so and etc. And after that, we try to adapt our data set for the Serbian language. And as I said, the Bayesian theorem is something that is commonly used when you use the classification, especially for the messages. So the first part is that we try to get our posterior probabilities over the prior probabilities. Prior probabilities is something that we already knew or something that we experienced. And after we multiplicate that with likelihood probability, we got the posterior probability. So that's what actually multinomial naive Bayes used when he tried to predict the new classes and new messages for our data set. So after that, I will show you what results actually we got. Model evaluation, for our model evaluation, we used confusion matrix. It's actually the number of true positive and true negative values over the whole matrix, and also macro F1 score and micro F1 score. That is in global, tell us what is the balance between precision and precall, or what is the is it the accurate value that we had give to our model. So after that, we can see on the result that for the matrices on the left side is for the Serbian language, and for the right side is for the English. So as you can see on the diagonal, for the both, even the Serbian or English, we can see that on the diagonal we have a good predictions. It's actually that for example, for the Serbian language, we said that 185% of the messages is not spam, and it's not actually not a spam. On the other hand, for the 173 observation, we said that it's spam, and actually it's a spam. On the opposite of diagonal, we can see that for the 12 observation, we call that it's a spam, but it's actually not a spam. So that's the mistake of our model. And for 32 observation, we said that it's not a spam, but it's actually a spam. So it's the same for the English. And if we can see the ROC curve, we can actually see that the accuracy of our model is for the both languages more than 19%. So it knows that the area under the curve is good predicted. We good predicted all the messages. It's actually most of the messages that is spam or not spam. We got classify those both classes. So after that, I can make a conclusion that using the model accuracy and the ROC curve actually and confusion matrix give us the solution that we have a low number of prediction, good prediction, but low number of mistake. And actually we make a good distinguishing between spam and not spam. So actually, maybe it's a better result for this English, but I will tell you that it's basically because of the function that we had used in the Python and the R language. So all the function is used for the English. So he can't predict the words in Serbian that is not common to them. So for the future research, maybe just to be optimal with the English results on English, we can use the future engineering or advanced text preprocessing, such as lemization or hyperparameter tuning. That is actually it's called lasso or ridge regularization, just to get a better result. So that's it. Thank you for your attention, and I'm open to answer for all of your questions.
Thanks, Milica. We like your presentation. As you can hear the applause.
Actually, I can hear.
Okay, believe us.
But thank you so much.
We have one question for the audience, from the audience. Okay.
Hello, a very nice presentation. Nice bias theorem implemented something. We have a lot of students here, so they now know where to implement. My question is, you did separately for Serbian and for English language. Have you considered emails that have a combination of Serbian and English language? So for instance, I'm guessing we all have on a daily basis some kind of conversation in emails where it starts, for instance, Serbian, and then it's an ad in English and something and so forth. Have you considered that? Yes.
So if I understand well and hear well, is it a combination of Serbian or English and English?
Yes,
that
was the question.
So it's actually not a combination. We actually first use the data set for the English and get all the results. But after that, we translate all that message to the Serbian. So it's actually a bit hard because the Serbian has all linguistical problems and all the for the Cyrillic and Latin letter and so on. But we didn't combine both of that. We actually do it separately.
Can you predict what would happen if you would did that combination?
Oh, that will be a chaos, 100%, because the model don't know either he focused on the English or the Serbian.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else to ask something? No, there are no questions. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Before all, welcome everyone. My name is Stefan Jancic, as the presenter introduced me. So today I will present the topic Navigating Artificial Intelligence, a framework for ensuring safe usage and data security throughout employee training. So this research explores how the AI is transforming industries, as we all know, the associated challenges with that, and the essential role of employee training in maximizing its benefits while safeguarding the corporate or data overall. So artificial intelligence, or AI, has emerged as a transformative force across various of industries, as we all know, redefining how organizations function and innovate. So while it enhances efficiency, boosts productivity, and creates value, it also introduces a significant challenges in implementation of AI in the work, particularly concerning data security and readiness of employees to work with the AI tools safely and effectively to protect the corporate data. So in today's fast-paced environment, organizations must strike a delicate balance between adopting sophisticated AI solutions and maintaining robust data security measures. So this balance is crucial not only for, let's say, safeguarding sensitive information, but also for fostering innovation and creativity that companies now want from their employees. So the research explores how businesses can navigate this balance by emphasizing the importance of the employee training itself in ensuring the safe and productive use of artificial intelligence in the workspace. So, yes, slide 3. So the AI tools have revolutionized operations, automated processes, enabling the automation of repetitive tasks, generating valuable insights, and facilitating data-driven decision-making. So the machine learning and also the natural language processing, NLP, for example, have significantly enhanced cybersecurity measures by improving threat detection and response times for those threats. These advancements help organizations adopt proactive approaches to combating cyber threats. So, however, risks for the usage, especially concerning data security itself. Industries like finance often rely on algorithms to process vast amounts of customer data, like the banks, making it imperative to safeguard personality identifiable information and adhere to stringent privacy standards. So employees must understand both the capabilities of the artificial intelligence in the one hand and in the other, the limitations of the AI to effectively harness those tools while protecting critical data resources and personal data of their customers or the users, depending on the platform. So the AI's integration into business yet transformative. Initially, AI was limited, as we all know, to basic data analysis and task automation, such as robotic processes automation in manufacturing, like big data processing, but with a lot of navigating how to process those data. And today, AI systems are capable of performing sophisticated tasks, generating predictive analytics, and even making autonomous decisions on their own. So in fields like healthcare, AI systems analyze the medical data, for instance, and assist in diagnostics and treatment planning. So if we all know that one viral video that blew up on the internet where 14 doctors couldn't detect the disease of the patient and the AI could do it in a matter of the minutes, is something that we need to address in this mentioning. Similarly, in finance, AI models predict market trends, while in the ICT sector, AI accelerated software development, for example, with the tools for automated code reviews and bug detections. AI in the software development or the software testing, we all know the AI tool that GitHub has its Git pilot for the software development, software testing, the tool by AI or the ChatGPT or any Llama model that is pre-trained for the code development, etc. So these advancements demonstrate only a few of AI potentials to enhance productivity and innovation across industries, which employees can use and implement in their workspace. So regarding this, to provide the context of AI transformative impact, let's consider what NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang had to say on one of the latest conference he was invited to speak in. So he highlights the AI's abilities to supercharge industries, making organizations smarter and more innovative. So his vision underscores the need for widespread adoption paired with the employee training to maximize these tools responsibly, to say it that way. So we can hear what he has to say about the using of AI in the daily work, and rather to be afraid that the people who will replace someone and at his job, it will be replaced by the people who uses AI, rather the people who are not using the AI in the workspace. So let's hear that.
You should probably worry about someone who uses AI taking your job. Yeah. And so that reminds you to get going and to go learn this new tool, yeah, and to make this new tool, your advantage. And surely as a company, we're going to do that. Yeah. And as a country, we should.
So I don't know if you could hear the audio from this video that was implemented in the presentation, but he highlighted the thing that I discussed in a couple of seconds ago, that not only the companies, but most importantly the countries needs to implement the artificial intelligence in all possible processes to speed up the bureaucracy procedures. Like we all know how many hours or days or lines we need to wait to get some so-called missing paper and so on. So he addressed this specifically, that not only companies, as I said, but the countries needs to implement those tools in several areas. So to mitigate risk and optimize AI's potential, employee training is crucial in this matter. Training programs should focus on, for example, understanding the AI technologies itself. Employees must grasp AI tools, functionalities, and the limitations to use. Then understanding AI technologies in a manner that employees should be familiar with AI tools, their functionalities, potential pitfalls. The foundational knowledge helps employees in this matter to use AI effectively and responsibly, while avoiding errors and other problems that can occur while using some specific tool in the industry. So the next is the data security that we need to address here. Training programs must emphasize the importance of protecting sensitive information. Employees should learn to identify cyber threats, cyber threats like phishings or malwares, and understand how to safeguard organizational data when using AI. Next is, in my perspective, one of the most important thing is the prompt engineering and the correct usage of the prompt engineering. Since the prompt engineering is a critical skill that enables employees to interact with the AI models, to extract optimal results from AI models, and not to be redirected to the wrong side of the outcome. Effective prompts ensure that AI models deliver relevant and high-quality outputs while minimizing the risk of generating the wrong answer or some mislead. And in the end, we have, of course, real-world applications. Like the practical examples of AI in action, such as AI-driven chatbots for customer service. Like we all can see the chatbot customer service that are 24/7 available on the website, and those are AI models. And before they present to you, they all need to highlight that they are the AI customer service chatbot, not the real person. So that disclaimer needs to be right there for the security reasons. So employer of AI into their organization, particularly regarding its impact on the job and work quality. Like for some, that's I'm not paying you. It's a quote. I'm not paying you to do the prompts on the, for example, ChatGPT or something else, some other tools. but the others say, okay, let's use it to optimize that, to get some initial structure, and then to add the quality to that and your personal signature to that task. So we can have these concerns requires a well-structured approach, like job displacement fears. Employers worry that AI may lead to job losses. However, AI is designed to augment human capabilities, like to be our extended hand, not to replace the human. Then we have the quality of the work. Some fear that AI might compromise work quality. Proper training will ensure that employees can effectively collaborate with the AI tool to enhance rather than diminish outcomes. And then resistance often stems from unfamiliarity with the AI. Comprehensive training programs can build confidence, showcasing AI as a valuable asset rather than a threat. Like the training should be available for the employers as well, they can get to know all the aspects of the artificial intelligence. So by addressing these concerns, having thoughts, transparent communication, and targeted training, organizations can foster trust, elevate fears, and create an environment where AI and humans' efforts can work simultaneously. So we have one practical case study. It's the all-known XYZ Tech Solutions. So who implemented AI tools to improve operations for the code quality, code generation, code testing, and increase creativity of the employees. So as we can see, the development cycle shortened by 20%, but some companies report that they have even even doubled their efficiency. So in the healthcare, we have the proposed AI offers immense potential, but comes with the challenges in handling sensitive patient data, as we might know. We propose a protocol to address these issues, like the data minimization, federated learning, encryption as a key, and access control, differential privacy to introduce probabilistic noise to protect the individual data, and continuous monitoring, regularly audit AI system for compliance and vulnerabilities. So to address the future research, AI research highlights several key trends and should also and always include AI-driven training, like personalized learning tailored to employees' roles and employers, data security innovations, ethical algorithmic bias, and ensuring transparency, and in the end, the employee and employer trust to increase that and to address that as well. So, conclusion. So as AI is a powerful tool for enhancing productivity, decision-making, and innovation. However, its integration requires careful planning, robust training programs, and trust-building efforts. By investigating in tailored training, fostering collaboration between humans and AI tools, and adopting standardized frameworks, organizations can harness AI responsibly and effectively. Like there could be potential separated training programs, not the general ones that everyone can use in the industry, but separated training programs for the niche specific training of the employee or employer. So the future of expertise combines with AI capabilities to solve complex challenges, drive innovation, as I said, and to create sustainable growth. So that's everything that I had to say about the conference paper, and I'm here to ask any potential question from the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. You got the applause. Probably do not hear, but
yes, but thank you all. Thank you all.
Is satisfied with your
thank
nice
you
presentation.
Thank you all.
We have one question for you from the audience.
Okay.
Hello.
So I would like to hear your opinion, considering that during the paper presentation, you've mentioned that AI is not there to replace the workers, but to help them. But how would you comment the fact that in the gaming industry, for example, we see a lot of layoffs? For example, they lay off 50 different concept artists and then employ 2 so-called AI artists in order to reduce the budget spending and so on. Isn't that also a way of replacing actual people with skills with AI content?
Okay, so the question is about the replacement of the human with the AI tools, if I heard everything
Yes.
well.
Yes, that was the question.
So that's a very, very valid concern, but for the specifically for the gaming industry, and that comes up frequently in the discussions about AI impact itself in the workforce, especially in creative industries like in this example, we can say the gaming development industry and the gaming industry like to replace the gamers. I don't know what was the specific question, like the gaming developer or the gamer itself?
No, it was related to employees which were doing the creative work, as you said. Basically,
Okay.
instead of 50 of them, now AI will replace them and
okay, like the gaming development industry. So the AI's role, as I mentioned in this presentation, is ideally to augment human capabilities rather than replace them. However, what you're describing in this situation in the gaming development industry, like the layoffs of concept artists in the favor of AI generated arts, and this highlights a announced challenge. So there is a short-term cost efficiency versus the long-term innovation comparison in this case. Like companies may turn to AI for cost savings, as you said, but replacing skilled human artists with AI entirely makes the risks for stifling creativity and originality in the long run, because in any industry, the AI cannot give the personal signature to that thing in the gaming industry. Like if you create some gameplay character, the human being can create a gameplay character with actual character in that. AI still cannot do that. I mean, we are targeting the AGI in the 2025, as the Sam Altman said in the last conference, but we cannot still expect that to happen. That AI probably could create for instance, in this matter, create the gameplay character with actual character, like we saw some GTA 6. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. We saw some in GTA 6 in the real engines, bots that when you ask them if they are real or not, they avoid the question. I mean, they avoid the answer. So upskilling, the next thing to address here is upskilling and redefining roles. So probably the industry can make the work to comprehend the work between the human and AI in this matter, not to replace it, but rather to use it, as I said earlier. So the game developer can, or character developer, or I don't know, I'm not that much in the gaming industry. I hope you understand. They need to use the AI to make their job more productive and to speed up the process, not to replace him completely. So that's the ethical concern in this case. Like the gaming industry and others needs to establish ethical guidelines for AI usage and to ensure fair treatment of workers and transparency in how AI is implemented in the workspace at all. So layoffs driven solely by budget concerns without considering the broader impact and implications can damage a company's reputation as a whole, and to destroy the innovation capacity of the company itself. So I hope that I somehow addressed your question properly.
Yes. Yes, and thank you. Live word is irreplaceable still.
Yeah.
So thank you for the answer.
You're welcome.
Any other with a question? No, there are no questions. Thank you for the presentation. It was quite interesting.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Okay. Hope to see you next year.
I hope as well. I hope as well. Goodbye.
Bye. It's all done, folks. It is a great pleasure to say thanks all for participating in this conference. And in the name of all organizers and all editorial staff, thank you and hope to see you next year.